Liz Yule from Old Stables Crafts. I'm a UK-based independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thank you for joining me again today. Today is Saturday, so it's time for a simple Stamping Saturday project. I'm going to have to cough. Sorry, that was weird. Anyhow, I'm looking at the Be Thankful stamp set, which is retiring, and I love it. It's just so cute and perfect for now. Where we are all thanking healthcare workers and delivery drivers and all those sorts of people. So let me show you the project. This is it. As ever, it's on a note, one of our note cards and envelopes. So this is the thanks, and I've managed to isolate the B just to stamp that on my envelope. So let me show you how I've done this. This is perfect for Stamparatus. It is also perfect for mass production, certainly as far as I'm concerned, because you can stamp them all and then colour them all in when you're watching television and stuff like that. I find it really difficult to just sit and watch television. It's really not that exciting. So, yes. So you can see that I've got a bit of an impression on my mini grid paper, so I know roughly where I'm putting my note card. And I'm not folding it first, I'm just putting it straight on. I will then just check that it's about right, which it is, and it does fit. As you can see, it fits perfectly right across the note card. So the first thing I need is Memento ink. You could use StazOn, but you know, I just can't be bothered to do the cleanup for StazOn. I am going to be using markers, certainly for this, just our standard markers, and so long as you wait for the ink to dry, it's fine. It does say on the back that it dries on all paper surfaces, including coated and textured papers, and when dry, stamped impressions are water resistant. They're not waterproof, so I certainly wouldn't do water-based projects. Now, it's not stamped beautifully, so because it's in the Stamparatus, I can go back and ink up the bit that's the least well stamped and just stamp that again. And I may need to do that a couple of times. But so yes, I would obviously don't use you know, an aqua painter or something like that with Memento, because that will smudge. But maybe just once more. But for ordinary markers, it's fine once it's dry. So that is that bit done. Now I am going to clean my stamp and then do my envelope. So, because I don't really want lots of ink on my stamp when I stamp my envelope. So this is just a half a chamois, which I keep in one of our half wood cases, which unfortunately are retiring and they have already sold out. I think you'll probably find that Stampin' Up! Demonstrators across the world have ordered them all. So certainly in Europe they've sold out. I couldn't say whether they have in the South Pacific or North America because I don't have access to their inventory lists. Now I am just going to stamp that down to kind of get rid of any dampness, and then for the envelope I can see where the B is and it's just there, so let me pop that down, and what I'm going to do is grab myself a post-it note and rip the bejeebers out of it, because what I want is to cover up anything that isn't the B, so I can just ink the B. Am I on camera? Yes, I am. Always worth checking. So that is covered up nicely. Now, I'm not going to worry if it doesn't stamp perfectly. I will just stamp it the once. There are ways of sorting it out anyway. So the trick is to then remove your bits of post-it note. And I've got one little bit there that has caught. So I'm just going to get the very corner of a chamois and just get rid of the top of the N. And then just stamp it down, and there's a little bee. So really easy to do. And as I say, because it's in the Stamparatus, and you'll see I've drawn on these lines because I found it really difficult to line up otherwise. So having lined it up, I've drawn these lines on, and I actually drew those on before I stuck the label on, so those should stay there forever, which means I will always know that I can line it up in my Stamparatus. But as I say, you can just keep going with your Stamparatus and just do more and more and more and more and more. Right, I am using colours from the Retiring In Colours. These you can get the 5, this is obviously only 3 of them, the 5 of them in one pack. So really worth getting. If you haven't got them already, I would urge you to do so. There are 2 ends to our stamping blends, sorry, our Stampin' Right markers. There's a brush tip and a narrow tip, and you can see which is which because there's a narrow here and a large here band, and also it tells you because there's a picture as well. So whether you're better with visual or with, you know, a mark or a visual. My brain's gone. Anyway, I'm going to colour in the word in lovely lipstick. This is where, off camera, my hand doesn't shake. On camera, not so great. I don't know why, because it's not as if you're actually in the room with me, so I shouldn't really be nervous. But it's just the way these things go. So this obviously will take a while. I haven't done a Blue Peter special and done a here's one I've prepared earlier, but you've seen one that I've prepared earlier. So I will just do a couple of letters and then show you how I've done the B and the leaves. Not that they're difficult, because I don't want to have you literally almost, that's not English. I don't want you to have to watch paint dry. I mean, in this case it's ink, but yeah. Now, if you find that some of the narrow bits are difficult to get into, you can use the narrow end of the marker. So let me show you what I mean. Just pop the cap on. So these bits at the bottom are a little narrow, but you can come in with just the narrow marker. So you've got more control and you can just fill in the bits that you've missed. So that's how that works. And then for the B, all I have done is colour his stripes with Pineapple Punch, and I've coloured the little flower. And then the leaves, again, all I'm doing is colouring with Call Me Clover, and apparently going over the lines, which is why I should probably be using the writing end. But there you go. So obviously I can finish that later. Now, if you are worried about this not being black enough, there are 2 options that we can use. We can either use a journal pen, or, if I can find it, which I currently can't, we do a single black marker. Oh, there it is. So you can just come in and touch up any areas that aren't quite black enough for you. The journaling pens, which come in a set of 2, there's this one which is an 05 and a narrower one which is an 01. These are retiring as well. I have stocked up on these because I love them. So is this the 01? Yes, it is. Let me show you on a scrap of paper, which of course I can't now find. Here we go. So this is the 01, and this is the 05. So really nice, you know, you can get a really narrow one and a not so narrow. And then for the marker, again, it's an 05 marker. So it's basically it's 0.5 millimetre. So these two are 0.5 millimetre, and this is 1/10 of a millimetre. So those are options. Now for the bird on the for the bee on the front, I've literally just done the same thing. So I've just coloured with Pineapple Punch, just so that he's picked out. So really easy to do. And then, as I say, this is the finished example. But it's Simple Stamping Saturday, so we wouldn't be doing Simple Stamping Saturday without having some stepped up versions. So for my more casual crafter, so someone who possibly hasn't got a die cutting machine but has punches, I've done this one. So this is from the Noble Peacock suite, and it's Blueberry Bushel. And I've used blends, stamping blends, and we've again got the same colours. So we've got Lovely Lipstick, Call Me Clover and Pineapple Punch, and I've just used the 2 tones. So most of the lettering is in the light, and then I've done shading with the dark. And then on the Call Me Clover again, I've done a light and a dark area. And for the bee, I've used the light Pineapple Punch for the wings and the face. And then this is the Trio Punch. So it's got a corner rounder and 2 little bits. This is great for tags because it just does a little oval. So it's really good for putting on the top of a tag. And then this does this lovely detailed corner. So that's what I've done for that one. And then for my more avid crafter, I have introduced an embossing folder. This is the Layering Leaves embossing folder, which is going. It's one of my favourite ever embossing folders. It's one of the 3D ones, so you can see lots of lovely texture. And then I fussy cut my word out and added some of the Happiness Blooms gems, which are in the appropriate colours. So yeah, just 3 really nice thank you cards. So these will be going in my handbag so that I can have them with me with a kind of generic thank you very much for keeping the country running kind of message on the inside, and I can hand them out to anyone I see who is doing something to help the country keep going. So that is my project for today. Let's bring the envelope in as well. I hope you've enjoyed that. Do keep a lookout for the Be Thankful. It is just 1 stamp, but it is a really pretty stamp. Great for kids. They can colour in the letters and the bee. And just a really nice stamp for the times that we are in. And it's really not expensive. I think from memory it's £13, which is a really good price. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Do remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you are in the UK and need any of these products, the link to my online store is below, including links to these specific products. So do go and have a look at that. And you will find over on my blog post, which is also linked below, that I have got close-up photos and a bit more information about how I've put these together. So thank you very much indeed for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.